guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lainey. This is my fiance Eric, and if you hear meowing in the background, that is our cat Poppy Seed. But today we are finally sitting down to film our birth story. Isla is going to be 3 months on Saturday, which is when I plan to have this video go up. So today is Isla's 3-month birthday, and we finally are gonna sit down and talk about it. I have a seltzer, and Eric's not drinking this month, so he's not drinking, but I thought this would be like fun to sit, like Isla's asleep right now, so I thought it would be fun to like sit down and do like, I mean, I don't really watch a lot of birth stories, if I'm being honest, so I feel like this might be different, but we'll see. So yeah, let's get into it. How should we?
Well,
we'll start. Okay, so I was due March 7th, and I
just walked into that pole. I was like, dang.
So I was due March 7th, and I obviously,
I feel like you should talk quieter because it hurt.
Okay, how many times am I gonna have to repeat this sentence? I was due on March 7th, and
oh my god,
you stop interrupting me. Sorry. So I was due on March 7th for the 7th time, and so that was Sunday. And I have been trying to induce my labor, just ignore Poppy, since I started taking primrose oil, which they say helps you go into labor, like softens your cervix. I started taking that at 36 weeks. Did nothing. We've been trying to induce the labor since, I'd say, like 39 weeks. Like, and then when I like was getting,
well, she tried the raspberry leaf tea,
which tasted like dirty water.
Didn't like that. Just bouncing on the exercise ball, like nothing crazy, just like stuff that's supposed to assist your body with getting ready. And
then like when I was overdue, I did try the castor oil, and it was so gross. And I feel like I didn't really do it the right way anyways. Maybe that would have helped if
it made you feel more sick than it.
Yeah.
It didn't put you into labor whatsoever.
It made me nauseous.
Yeah.
And I heard that you're supposed to drink like a crazy amount, and I was like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, because it can give you like problems.
Yeah, and it was just gross. And I wasn't, so I think they started checking me at 37 weeks. And every appointment I wasn't dilated at all. So at my 39-week appointment, at my 39-week appointment, they said, okay, like hopefully we won't see you for your 40-week appointment, and if we do, we'll do an NST, which is a non-stress test, and schedule an induction date. So I was like, okay, like I'm not gonna see you. They saw me, obviously. So, well, not obviously, because I guess you don't really, well, if you watched our birth vlog, then you do cut into the story. But anyways, so I went in at 40 weeks and 3 days, I think, because we went in on Wednesday.
Yeah.
We went in on the 10th, and I was due on the 7th. Yeah. So we went in that Wednesday, and we did the non-stress test, and Isla's heart rate was like slightly elevated. They weren't worried, but they were like, we're sending you to the hospital right now. And I didn't have my stuff. We took separate cars.
Oh, I had, because we both made bags by week 35 probably.
Yeah.
And like mine was just like one my mom gave us stuff in, I think, and I was like, oh, I'll use this as the bag, and Lainey's was like her diaper bag she had wanted or whatever. And I had mine all set in my car, and we took separate cars anyway, so we had to bring Lainey's car home. And
we hadn't given my mom the key to our apartment.
Yeah. Because
I had planned to like make a separate key, and I just never got around to it. So we had to give her a key to get in here for
the cat.
Poppy Seed, who I think one of her toys is under her litter box. I think that's what she's doing.
Sorry.
Poppy had her new toy because it was just Poppy's first birthday, so we got her toys. So she had her toy under her litter box. Sorry, I had to get it. Anyways, so the doctors loved that he had his stuff and I didn't have my stuff. Yeah. Like the doctor was hysterically laughing, but he was like,
I'm father of baby.
Yeah, because we're not married and there's no option for a fiance. So the doctor was like, so father of baby.
They're like, are you boyfriend or husband? And I was like, oh, like I'm the fiance. Like we've been, at that point, we've been engaged for
like a year and a half.
18 months or whatever it is. Like I'm not just some Joe Schmo, you know?
Yeah, and they're like, oh, father of baby. But anyways, and then, yeah, so the doctor was like, I'm gonna send you to the hospital now. I'll be there tomorrow. We'll start induction tonight. And then tomorrow I'll be there and I'll deliver the baby. And I loved that doctor. He was my favorite.
He's weird.
No, he was weird, but he was my second favorite because now the doctor that delivered Isla is my favorite. But anyways, so we go home and I'm like kind of freaking out because I was sad that I had to leave Poppy, who just put her toy back under her litter box. Poppy's our first baby.
I'm not doing it again, man.
So we go back to the apartment. My mom's here. She takes my keys and we get my bags and we go to the hospital.
Yep.
And then when we got to the hospital, I think we got there around
4:20 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know, something like that.
And they induced me with
probably 5:20 or something.
Yeah, with Cervidil. So it's like, it kind of looks like a tampon and it gets
it's so weird,
inserted behind your I have no idea, cervix.
Well, so I guess it's informative video. The doctor literally takes it like a. It looks like
I didn't see what it looked like. Yeah, they just told me that it looked like a tampon.
I saw what it looked like. It looks like basically one of those thick shoelaces, and they put it in like this so they're able to get it in, and they look very painful. I can't imagine, but they like lube up their hands and go to place it behind, and it's supposed to release medicine that opens up the cervix.
So after you get it, you can't move for an hour. So they're like, go to the bathroom, do what you have to do, and then after an hour you can get up and move.
Massive dump.
No.
Massive.
No. That's not true. Anyways, if anyone had massive dumps, it was you while we were there.
I don't think so.
So we were there, and I wasn't dilated at all or like anything. Like Isla was.
Tweet.
She was up there. She was not going down.
Oh my God.
Just ignore her. And then, so the Cervidil gets inserted in you for 12 hours. So they took it out at like 6:30 the next morning. And
that was awful too.
That was, I think a nurse took it out the first time.
I can't even.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a nurse took it out, and that was more painful, getting it taken out and then put in, because I felt like, I honestly, like, not like nurses are great, but I honestly felt like this nurse like didn't really know what she was doing, because she like couldn't find it, and it hurt.
Like,
she was just like, she was like elbow deep,
yeah.
And she could not find it, and it was awful. I was like crying, and they gave me a break. They let me have breakfast at that point.
And then instead,
I think I showered. Oh no, did I shower?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's irrelevant.
Was, but
yeah.
The initial plan was, if the Cervidil doesn't work after 12 hours, because that shit, there's that stuff. You can cut that out. I don't know. But it's supposed to work, obviously. So they're like, we'll try the.
But being induced is a very long process, and they let me know. They're like, it can take days.
But so I think it was Pitocin or something that they were like, oh, we're gonna try this, and the one doctor was like,
they said
oh, never mind, like, we're gonna do another Cervidil.
No, I was on Pitocin. So what happened was, I had Cervidil. It did nothing. And then the doctor, so shift ends at 7 o'clock, and the doctor that came in at like 6:30, and she just was like not having it, I felt like, and didn't want to put the she was awful. Weird. She was so rude. I did not like her. She made me feel like.
She was the one who called me father of baby.
Yeah, she was. And she was just like not
I think we liked her in the appointment, but...
And then at the hospital, it was awful. Like, she was... Anyways, I just don't... I think she... I mean, I'm no doctor, but I think she just didn't want to put a second Cervidil in then. Because they had told us if the first Cervidil doesn't work, you're going to get a second one before we start Pitocin. And it did nothing. But she was like, we're doing Pitocin. And just, like, walked out. And so they started me on Pitocin. And the Pitocin did absolutely nothing. I was on that until... probably like 4 o'clock, the Pitocin, and then Dr. I'm not gonna say his name, the doctor that sent me to be induced came in, and he was like, oh, nothing still, and he said they were gonna do the Foley bulb, or the Foley balloon.
Oh.
That
was the worst thing.
It was the worst experience of my life.
I mean...
Not actually, but like, it was awful. I think I blacked out. I don't remember that, if you want to.
Blacked out?
Like, I don't remember. I blocked that.
Well, so, is that what he was doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, it's, what was it? It was like I can't see things, obviously, but it's basically a balloon that is supposed to expand the cervix. Or break the wall or something.
Yeah, and when it falls out, you're 5 centimeters dilated.
But, like, he couldn't even get it in. Or was that the Cervidil?
Oh, and remember how that doctor, when she was the one in the morning, when she did check me, and she was being so rough that I, like, arched my back and she started yelling at me. You remember that?
I don't remember her yelling at me.
She did. She was like, you have to relax. Stop arching your back.
Like as if you're not 10 months pregnant.
And she was being really rough. She was not... I understand she was at the end of her shift, but she was not nice.
Yeah.
So he tried doing the Foley balloon, and he couldn't get it in, like, at all. And at this point, I was having, like, consistent contractions.
Yeah, the machine was like...
Yeah, and the nurse was saying, like... that I was a trooper. She was like, you're having like strong consistent contractions, and I never went above a 4, like on my pain scale. I kept telling her I was at a 4, but after that Foley balloon I asked for something because it hurt so bad. He couldn't get it in, so they gave me a break, and then did we have dinner that night?
I don't know, cause like so her meals were covered by the insurance, but like from the hospital. We did have
that dinner that night.
But I forget.
So that was no, remember this was the second night. So they were giving me a break, and they told Eric he could leave. So did you come home to see Poppy?
Oh, is that when your mom brought us food?
No, that was after she was born. Is your phone ringing?
Go ahead, Darnell.
Okay, so Eric's phone alarm is going off. But anyways, so that was the night that you went home and brought us back Wendy's, because all I wanted was a chocolate Frosty.
Oh, right. Yes.
And
because they were like, oh, so that's when I was like freaking out in my head. And then you literally texted me like, oh, I can't do this. I leave... So this is like my first time leaving the building.
Yeah.
After like over 24 hours of being there with Lainey in a single room and masks, everything. And so I'm like very distraught and not like, you know,
because like I'm also like in pain, and he's sleeping on a recliner.
Oh, it was terrible.
And the bed that you sleep in labor and delivery is not comfortable either.
No. And so like obviously I'm concerned for her, and I go to get her food. I pull out of the hospital parking lot for the first time in over 24 hours. Eric, I can't do this. And I'm like, I don't... Did somebody tell you had an option? And, no, listen. And so, like, I've
never heard this.
No, well, this is just my perspective. And, I mean, the perspective of a father, or, you know, whatever role you fill during this time period, is very unique. I think you don't really get a whole lot of that perspective in the labor and delivery stories. It's most, which is, I mean, valid because the mom's the one delivering, right? But so you know, I call my parents to give them an update, and I'm just like at my wit's end with like life itself. they're just like, don't worry, you know, everything's gonna be okay. And meanwhile, like, I'm not telling them that, like, oh, Lainey texted me she can't do this, you know. I'm just like driving to Wendy's, like speeding on the highway. I get back and
So like, so I don't know if you guys have had children before, but you have 2 monitors on your stomach, one for the baby's heart rate and one for contractions. And I honestly, that's the most uncomfortable part about it all, because those are awful. But anyways, the nurse that was on during the day knew that I sat up and moved a lot because I was so uncomfortable. And this was right at the changing of the shifts. So like I sat up and the one that was monitoring Isla's heart rate like slipped off, but the contraction one stayed on. And like when your stomach tenses, it looks like you're having contraction on the machine. And the nurse at the nursing station like thought I like was having contraction, and like Isla's heart rate like flatlined, obviously because like the thing fell off, but they didn't know that from the nursing station. So all of a sudden, like I'm in there by myself, Eric had just left, and all these nurses like come running in and like throw me down on my back and start like playing with my IV and like rolling me in all these different positions. And I'm like, what the hell is happening? I had no idea what was happening, but finally like they like fixed my monitor and Isla's heart rate was fine. She was fine. Like I know it was my fault, but whatever.
No, well, I didn't even like really know the full details of that until this week.
Really?
Yeah, you just told me, oh, they couldn't find her heart rate, and I was like,
oh, it was because
I didn't really understand.
It's because I sat up and the thing fell off, so it wasn't that they couldn't find their heart rate. It was that it was my fault. But anyways, because of that, they had told me that maybe I could start taking a pill. I think it's called Cytotec, and to help dilate you. But because of that, they weren't comfortable with giving me Cytotec, so my only option was to either try the balloon again, which I was not doing, or have a C-section, which I was not doing, and then or to have another Cervidil. So we got another Cervidil inserted, and then
that shit stank.
What? Oh, like getting another Cervidil, yeah, it stunk. It was awful. They let me
probably also didn't smell very
probably good. They let me take a shower then and everything and like get off monitors.
She stunk.
That's not true.
Probably, I don't know.
And then they let me like go off the monitors for a little bit and relax before they gave it to me again.
The shower helped though.
Yeah, it made me feel a lot better. So I got, at that point the doctor gave me the second Cervidil. And they didn't take the second one out until like, they took it out actually early. They didn't wait the full 12 hours. They took it out. And at this point I was having strong contractions, and they were only like at most 2 minutes apart. Like they were like 1 minute to 2 minutes apart. So like I was having strong contractions, but they weren't doing anything. And I was like, my body was starting to get like stressed out from all of this. And Isla was like not coming down or anything. So the next morning, the doctor that delivered Isla came in and told me that she didn't feel comfortable with continuing the way that we were going, and that we were going into C-section, which I did not want. I didn't want a C-section. I didn't want an epidural. I wanted to go like all natural. So being told I had to have a C-section was awful. But I remember during the Foley balloon, I was like, if this hurts this bad, how am I going to push a child out of my...
Yeah. The area.
Yeah. So at that point, we started prepping for a C-section, and I called my mom. I was very upset, but at the same point, I was just like, done.
Yeah, like let's get the show on the road, boys.
So they started prepping me for the C-section, and I walked my ass.
I didn't know this until recently.
You were there, so I don't know how you didn't know this.
Because they were like, so they were basically like, Dad, you have to put on these scrubs, and then you guys were like gone out of the room.
And Eric had to carry all of our bags.
Oh my God.
He looked like
like, you know, at a hotel, and I'm not saying a hospital is a hotel by any means, but like
some hospitals have those things.
You want to be comfortable, and like they didn't even offer puppy seat, but they didn't even offer like a dolly or like, I don't know, a helping hand even, and like we had the baby's bag, which next
time I will not bring the baby's bag.
We'll add tips at the end, like things we would have changed. But anyway, so I'm here. I literally have a backpack, a bag on my chest, and 2 duffel bags in either hand. I'm walking through with scrubs and a hairnet, over my jeans. I looked ridiculous.
That doesn't matter though, however you look.
Well, I was also like...
You looked like a pack mule. But anyways.
Exactly, yeah.
So I walked myself to the operating room and sat on that table myself.
And I didn't know that.
Yeah. Which I don't know if that's normal practice, but I feel like it's not. I don't know.
I feel like I would change that if I was in the hospital.
Yeah, so I got into the operating room, and the doctor that delivered Isla knew I was like freaking out and that a C-section was not what I wanted, and that like I didn't even want the epidural, so I was freaking out when they had to do the spinal tap for the surgery. And my anesthesiologist was also amazing, but okay, my battery is dying, and I just ran out of room, so I had to delete some stuff, so we have to finish this quickly. So
this is the phone part.
I know. So my doctor is great. She like rubbed my back and like hugged me all throughout the spinal tap. My anesthesiologist was amazing. He made me feel comfortable. He was telling me how great I was doing until Eric came in, and then this is Eric's part of the story.
So
you have to, because the battery is dying.
So they had me bring our bags and stuff to the recovery room, which is different than like the operating room and everything, and it's basically a nurse's station with bay windows and everything. And so I'm just sitting there in the hallway. I see like a doctor come out. They're like, "Oh, she's doing great, you'll be in there soon." I see the one doctor walk out. He's on his cell phone. I'm just sitting there like texting my family like, "Oh shit, it's about to go down." And they're like, "Oh my god." And I'm like sitting there like, am I missing something? Like, what's going on? And they're finally like, okay, like time to come in. And I'm, like I said, in scrubs, and they're like, don't touch anything in blue. Really, right there, like, don't touch anything. And I was like, okay, like, I'm not gonna touch anything. They're like, it's sterile, it's a sterile environment. And so I walk in, and like, if you've ever seen a horror movie, like, set in a hospital, that's exactly what it's like. And I just see them like pulling stuff out of Lainey. I was like, oh no. And I saw like a curtain, and I saw Lainey's midsection and her legs. And I saw like 3 or 4 doctors and nurses and everything. And they're like, Dad, sit over here. I kid you not. Lainey's...
Well, yeah, that's how they do see
Lainey's... If you've ever seen a movie like set in a mental hospital, and I'm not trying to make light of that, but it's like when someone's strapped down on a gurney, but like iron cross style.
And I was like shaking uncontrollably.
Yeah, and that's why they do it. They do it for safety. But she was like Velcroed down to the table, and I was like, and she's like kind of anesthesiologist out. What is it called?
I don't know.
I don't know what it is.
And then as soon as he sits down next to me, I'm like, I have to throw up. So my anesthesiologist like gave me stuff to my IV to help with that, and it helped a lot. But Eric's like holding the bag on my face as I like dry heave because I hadn't eaten.
It's not even like a bag. It's a bag with a solid plastic ring. So it's like, but she's like this, and she's moving, and they have to pull like all the stuff out.
No, they don't. They just push it aside.
No, please, I was there.
You didn't see it though. I googled it. They don't remove your organs.
You were telling me that for months.
I thought they did, but then I googled it.
So I hear the one doctor going, "Oh, you're pulling too hard." The other one's like, "Oh no." She's like, "I'm a lot stronger than that." And like pulling, and Lainey's like, I'm being pulled side to side. And so apparently they tear the skin and the muscle and abdomen and everything like this, because if they were to cut it like this, it wouldn't heal properly. But Poppy sees a ghost. So when they sew it back like that, it heals better because it's more rigid. It's like, but yeah, that was all.
Okay, so the camera died. I charged it for a little bit, I took my makeup off, so I'm ready to go to bed after this because it is 10:40. So we need to go to bed because hopefully Isla doesn't wake up at 4 a.m. like she did last night. But anyways.
This morning.
Yeah. Anyways, like we were saying, I think we're at the part where they were talking about how.
Oh, yeah. They were like comparing
their strengths.
They're like, yeah, no. So basically, the point I was making was like it was so strange. These doctors were like having a conversation about like how hard they were pulling her stomach open, basically.
And they were like talking about their weekend plans.
Yeah.
Like this is just another day for them. But anyways, they told me to be ready because one of the doctors pushes down and the other one pulls the baby out. And honestly, I didn't even feel like any of that.
She was like.
And then we heard Bean's little cry, and we just like looked at each other. Eric got a little teary-eyed, and
yeah, just like the first little bit, but it's so hard to like be in it.
Yeah.
You know, when all that stuff's going on, it's not like that moment that you think it's gonna be.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it's because we were so like unprepared to have a C-section.
I mean, you're not really prepared for any of it when it comes down to it. Like you can think, like preparation is not having all this stuff or you know, having the car seat ready. Like you definitely need that, but preparation's like mentally preparing.
Yeah.
And like you can't mentally prepare for it.
So after they pull her out, it was really sad because I was always like looking forward to the moment of like having her on my chest, and I didn't think to ask for skin to skin right after she was born, but apparently you can ask for that during a C-section, but I know that, so I didn't ask. So they like walked by and they're like, this is the baby, and I was like, oh, she's so cute, but like I didn't really get a good look at her, and Eric like was like in limbo, like he didn't know what to do.
Yeah, I didn't know if I should like go watch the baby,
or if like I felt like you didn't think you were allowed to.
Yeah, I hated that.
But I was like, go see her.
Yeah.
And he went and took pictures of her.
Yeah.
And yeah,
she got born. Her vitamin K.
Yes.
And the other one,
hepatitis, I believe, shot.
Yeah. They did like the footprints and stuff.
Yeah.
They put gel in their eye. I don't know if it's gel, but it's like petroleum jelly. It looks like. I'm sure it's not that, but so because their eyes are all crusty and have to adjust to air. And then the lady used like the remainder of that to clean the ink off her feet.
Oh, that's smart.
Like rubbed it like her feet together. So yeah, that's funny.
And they let him. They like left umbilical cord for him to cut.
They're like, Dad, you want to cut the umbilical cord? I was like, come on. I'm not stupid, but I did it. I mean, it was cool, I guess, to have that. But.
Yeah, and then finally, after like 10 minutes, and it's funny because in the pictures, I'll insert some of them if I can. I don't think that I can actually.
I'm sure you can.
No, but like Isla's like naked in the pictures, and
she's in something.
No, she's not.
She's in something.
Oh, she might be in a diaper.
Yeah, she's in something.
But like in the pictures, I'm like on the table, like
still strapped down,
and
I'm just like
looking back at them.
And we're like masked up and everything.
I didn't have a mask and anything on because I had like oxygen and stuff. But then finally the nurse brought her over to me and like unstrapped my one arm so I could hold her.
Like a prisoner of war.
But I was shaking so badly that like I felt like I was gonna drop her. So the nurse took her back because I was like holding on, but I was struggling because I was like shaking so much. Just open the laundry room door. Probably wants the laundry room door open, which is this door right here. Eric closed it for the video so it wouldn't look like that, but it's fine. But yeah, so the nurse took her back and then we went in. They did more stuff in the back. Eric goes with Isla, and I just remember like while they were stitching me up, it felt like it was like 10 years. And then
what was I doing then?
You were with Isla, but then I don't really remember like being wheeled to the recovery room. I remember in recovery like.
Oh, they put her in the wheelie thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
feels so long ago now, but it also feels like yesterday. I can't believe she's 3 months old already. But in the recovery room, I did skin to skin. Isla latched right away. She's a breastfeeding champ still. Exclusively, she does not take a bottle, but I do love like that bonding time with her. So I'm kind of worried though because she's teething now, so that'll be interesting. But I remember during recovery my face was so itchy. Yeah, like I kept like going like that. We were in recovery for 2 hours, and Eric had
anesthesia.
Yeah, Eric had to pee so bad and they wouldn't let him leave.
Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh. So you don't think they could have said that on the way to recovery? Like, oh, come back here, but that's the bath. Like 2 hours in, I'm like, yeah, I really need to use the bathroom. So this is at like 12:40. We get.
I was born at 11:27.
Oh, so but by the time we were in there, it was like maybe 11:45.
We were because we were in recovery for 2 hours, and we left recovery at 2:30.
So say it's 1:45, 2 o'clock. I'm like, yeah, I'd really like to use the bathroom, and they're like, if you leave, you can't re-enter. And I was like,
which I get, but Eric had to pee. But that's basically it. Then we were in the hospital. My recovery for my C-section honestly was not that bad, and my birth wasn't what I expected or wanted, and I definitely want to not have a C-section again. But like if I had to, I would do it because it wasn't that bad.
Well,
but I am gonna try
considering.
Yeah, considering I'm gonna next time I'm not gonna be induced. Knock on wood. Isla's heart rate like wasn't even that elevated. It was like 2 over what it was supposed to be, so she was like fine. It was what I ate that day.
Yeah,
because I was living on pineapple because I heard pineapple helps you go into or like whatever.
But so we were just in the grocery store and Lainey's like, I can't eat pineapple ever again.
Yeah, I think I ate like 7 of them.
No, not 7.
Well, I ate a lot. No, I ate more than that.
Who do you think was cutting them up for you?
I know I ate more than that. But anyway, I don't think I can ever eat pineapple again.
No more pina coladas.
I don't like pina coladas anyway, so. But yeah, that's basically it for the birth of Isla Bean, who is now almost 3 months old. Well, 3 months old. And yeah, that's it. Do you have anything to add?
I feel like I tell the story really funny and it was just a disappointing. I didn't tell it very funny today.
That's okay.
Sorry guys.
But that's it for today's video, guys. If you aren't already, make sure you subscribe down below. Give the video a thumbs up for more of our faces. Make sure, did I say that? Subscribe. I'm tired.
That's okay.
I don't remember what I was saying.
What did we say? I said we'd say something later.
Oh, you wanted to like give tips, but the video's already really long, so we can do that in another video.
Well, no, there's like something very specific.
I don't know, but we're ending the video.
Oh, you don't need all the stuff.
Yeah, you said that was the tips you said.
Just don't bring. I brought like my computer and stuff. Didn't need it. Didn't even look.
Yeah. Anyways, that's it, guys. Bye.